AWS console. We have a problem right now with our space metrics. We have a uh, stuff that you stored isn't showing up in the kind of usage information for like how many bytes you put in a particular space, and it's because there is this a function that gets called whenever someone stores something, because it's attached to this Kinesis stream. We have this, it's like this big old kind of pipe where fire hose, I guess you can call it, all of the invocations that we get, all of our UCAN invocations go into this pipe, and you can attach various consumers to the pipe to do various things. And one of them is to just account for the amount of space amount of bytes that were added or removed from any given space. So we have this function that gets called, and you can see it here. It was a bit rocky over here. This is like maximum duration, and it kind of calmed down. There's not many errors. There's not really any errors. It always works. This was choppy before. I did a little change to like cache the client, so any invocations of the same lambda can be reused. Like it doesn't get like created and then shut down. It sort of sticks around for a bit. So if another request comes in, it will reuse the same lambda. So by not recreating clients and opening connections to databases and stuff, you basically, this is apparently what happens. You smooth out this line graph, so it's less spiky, which is kind of cool. But really, the problem with this handler is this thing called iterator age, which has been going up, and that means that it's not processing things in the stream. Like the stream is backing up; it's not processing stuff fast enough, and the things in the stream are getting old. So like 1.9, so basically 2G is 2 billion milliseconds. That's roughly 24 days old. Some of the items in the stream are right now, and I did a change here to only consider. So on the stream we get like invocations as well as receipts, and I did a change here to filter by receipts only. So we basically halved the number of things that it was doing, and that allowed it to, I guess, process a lot of things faster. But at some point we kind of went back to continually growing the iterator. So there's a problem here, and I think that one of the things is that we've only got like I don't know why this is free and not just one, but there's only like one. It's basically sequentially processing the stream, which is just, that's not great. It should be able to process it a lot faster. There's ways to do that in Kinesis, but it's complicated and kind of sucks. We did try one thing, but we didn't, which was you can set a parallelization factor, but it didn't work. It didn't work because there's a thing called partition key, which basically determines which shard you're. I can imagine this is really confusing if you're hearing it, but the partition key, you set that on every message, and it determines which of the shards of Kinesis your message goes to. We're setting it to the same thing for every message, so it always goes to the same shard. We only got Kinesis configured with one shard, so that's another issue. But parallelization factor is meant to allow you to process more than one message, even if you have only one shard, but it works on the partition key. So if we want parallelization factor to work, we need to start setting the partition key to something different per message. So that's what I think is going to solve this particular problem. So while I was looking at this, I also looked at there's another lambda here, which is just kind of consuming the stream as well. It is counting metrics. It's like a metrics lambda. It's just counting some things for us, which was recently having a really bad time. When we deployed the blob protocol to the system, we made an error, and we made the metrics lambda make an error, and then it's basically been erroring for a long time, and then I fixed it earlier today. So you can see like it went from like doing nothing to actually doing something. Oh, there, invocations. Here we go. Yeah, look at these. And then you can see here, like the iterator age was this, by the way, this was like 3.9, well, whatever, like this was like basically 42 days worth of stuff, but it's come down since then. I keep refreshing this because I'm really excited that they've kind of fixed it and stuff is coming down 3 point. Yeah, okay, so we're still coming down on this one. So it means that like metrics are being counted, no errors again. Another metrics one here, same sort of deal. It was doing errors, now it's not. And iterator age, we had the same problem where I fixed one bug and then it consumed a bunch of messages and then it hit another one message that and was causing another error and it meant that it sort of halted the whole thing. So then it started to go back up again. And then I solved it and now it's going back down again. So hooray for that. Yeah, so anyway, metrics. But the one kind of consequence of fixing these particular lambdas is that our Grafana, our metrics in Grafana can now like sort of make sense. But what this was showing before was kind of it was just a single line. Well, no, not a single line. A line for every, it was just showing the total over time for each type of invocation, and I've flipped this round so that these two are both new. So we've now got this this kind of bar chart of invocations every 10 minutes. You can see at this point we were getting 5,000 upload ads and 4,900 store ads, and in the 10-minute period, and then blob ads 163. So we can kind of get an idea of the traffic that we're receiving. But the problem is that, like, because this metrics thing hasn't been working for a while, it's kind of processing these messages that are all backed up, and so we're getting some weird results here. This is not actually what the actual traffic we're seeing right now because it's not caught up yet. But you can see that this started working. I fixed the store remove one, so we now see store remove. That was where the bug was. It wasn't able to process the things because the store remove thing was broken, or the blob remove as well. Anyway, but you can get an idea of the kind of number of invocations we're receiving at any given point in time when it finally consumes the whole thing. Plus, like, the total, and now we have like the total invocations, which is great. So we can see we will see over time store ads start being dwarfed by blob ads. Sorry, store ads are blue ones. Yeah. And upload ads will continue to grow. But yeah, as people transition from the store protocol to the blob protocol, which should be transparent, but behind the clients, we'll see this change. So this is hopefully a kind of improvement in terms of the metrics for this. I also unblocked our Filecoin pipeline. Similar sort of thing was happening. We could see last 7 days or so. Yeah, I think we were over. No, it was just basically, yeah, maybe it was this flat bit down here, and then I unblocked it and we started seeing stuff going up like quickly because things were being processed by the stream, and then now we've sort of gone back to that kind of leveling off where we're making steady progress rather than like loads and loads and loads. And it's not to say that we're not processing these; it's just that the metrics just haven't been coming through, which is really frustrating. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing what I wanted to show you was if you go back to like past 90 days, you can see like this is where we didn't have any data, but look how many, like the difference in the number of invocations is quite substantial. But I think that's partly because of like we've got all this backed up data that we're trying to process through. We might see it go back down to something more like this when we're at the steady state. But yeah, it's just an artifact of the way that, yeah, you can see these were stalled for so long and then suddenly they've just picked up because I've unblocked everything. But yeah, it's an artifact of the way that kind of Prometheus and Grafana work, that we're seeing it like this. But at a steady state, this should now return to something a bit more normal. And this will give us a good idea of like the number of invocations. One final thing, this isn't showing, like, giving us a good idea right now, but what we do have is this thing called seed run. It's kind of helping us deploy things to AWS for our UCAN endpoints right now. I just put this back to like 32 weeks. This is a long time ago, so it's stretching all the way back into last year. And you can see that actually quite recently, from I guess April, this is more indicative of what we're actually seeing right now. It's the number of invocations that we're receiving every day. So that's pretty good, actually. Really, 353,000 every day. But then, like, if we look here, oh, that happened, and I think we didn't really notice it. So yeah, this is interesting as well, because this is actually our UCAN endpoint that receives all of our invocations. So, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you. Trying to get on top of the metrics, so that like we start just everything stops being on fire, and we don't start reacting to things when they happen. We can actually be monitoring this stuff on a day-to-day basis, and deal with things more proactively than users coming to us to get stuff fixed. But this is hopefully a step in the right direction. I wanted to get some like extra panels. These are really boring, these four here. But something a bit more like this, where we've got like, the headline, like number of stuff that has how much data has been stored in total, which is the sum of like the store add, the blob adds, minus the store removes, minus the blob removes. No, I think we've only had like 18 blob removes so far, so we don't have a lot that's been removed there. Yeah, that's all, I think.